Let's now discuss the data requirements and business rules you need to be aware of with regards to staff assignment reporting. The following are the key data collected from the SASS file. First is a job classification, which is the classification of a specific occupation of an individual, such as teacher, administrator, and pupil services. Second is the non-classroom-based assignments. These are job assignments that have been designated as support service assignments or that are not based in the classroom. Third is the school of assignment, which is a unique identifier for the school where an educator is assigned. It's normally the CDS code of each of the specific schools that a staff member is assigned to. And fourth is the FTE percentage or the full-time equivalency percentage. This is basically the percentage of time spent on each job classification in relation to a full-time position. The CALPADS data guide provides a list on who should and should not be reported with a staff demographic and assignment records. However, it all boils down to whether the staff employed has a SEID or not. So, if a staff does not have a SEID, do not report a SDEM nor a SASS record. Do not use the SEID 9999 on any of these records since it will trigger an error and will just reject your record. Now, if the staff member has a SEID, the next question is, are they employed by the LA on census day? If yes, or if no, then do not submit ASS nor an SDM record. If it's a yes, you may submit the records for staff who are actively employed on census day. These are your administrators, your pupil services, and non-certificated administrators who have a SEID. And also you report your teacher on record, which is basically the teacher who is employed on census day and assigned to the class regardless if the teacher is on leave or not at any point during the academic year. So these are your regular teachers, your itinerant or pull-out push-in teacher, your charter school non-certificated teachers who have a SEID, and also your substitute teachers who are teaching the class who has a vacant staffing for that particular time on census day. As earlier hinted, there are three categories of teaching or administrative staff that do not require credentials and may not possess SEIDs, but they are encouraged to be reported in CALPADS. These are your non-certificated administrator, non-certificated other, which are occupational therapists, psychometrists, and other pupil service staff, and your charter school non-certificated teacher or administrator. These are your charter school non-certificated teachers and charter school non-certificated administrators. Should you need to report these staff members, you still need to acquire a SEID from the CTC to be able to report them. So staff in these positions should be reported may receive SEIDs from the CTC by requesting a certificate of clearance. Once that clearance is issued and they provide you a SEID, then you report these staff members to CALPADS. The types of staff reported in your SASS file include teachers, administrators, and pupil service staff. A teacher is an employee of the LEA who holds a position requiring certification and whose duties require direct instruction to the students. They also mentor teachers. They can be itinerant teachers and possibly substitute teachers. Administrators are employees of the LEA in a position requiring, again, a certification, but who is not required to provide direct instruction nor direct services to students. Pupil service staff is someone who is in a position requiring a standard designated services credential, a health and development credential, who performs direct services to students. Aside from your staff assignment types, they are broken down into staff job classifications. For teachers, you have a regular teacher 12, a charter school non-certificated teacher 26, or a 27 itinerant teacher pull-out push-in teacher. When reporting a teacher, if a teacher can be classified in both teacher and itinerant or pull-out push-in teacher, meaning the teacher has credentials for both, the itinerant or pull-out push-in teacher classification should be used, not the regular teacher, nor a 26. If a teacher has a non-classroom based staff assignments as well as regular teaching assignments, both the classroom and non-classroom based assignments must be reported with the corresponding job classification. For administrators, it can be broken down into 10 an administrator or 25 a non-certificated administrator. For pupil service, you only have one job classification, which is 11 pupil services, and this covers your counselors, guidance and welfare personnel, psychologists, and some other non-classroom job assignments. What is the difference between the job classification and a staff assignment? Job classifications are based on staff members' certification and credentials. These are your admin, teacher, or itinerant teacher, 27. These are the different credentials that they can get. While the staff assignments are the jobs that they perform. So for admin and pupil service staff, the staff assignments will be their staff non-classroom based job duties, which are probably a principal, a counselor, psychologist, mentor teacher. Then of course for teachers, you have your course section record, which then assigns them to a class. As you earlier mentioned, non-classroom job assignment are non-classroom based or support assignment that does not involve instruction of students. These are duties performed by librarians, admin secretaries, a nurse, mentor teacher, and sometimes day-to-day teacher sub. So a day-to-day teacher sub is a staff member permanently employed by a local education agency that is temporarily assigned to teach classes while a permanent teacher is either out on leave or is yet to be hired. However, the course record should reflect the SEID of the teacher on record regardless if the teacher is on leave. So basically, day-to-day subs are substitute teachers who are employed on census day but are not the teacher on record. With regards to job classification FTE reporting, for each staff member reported, LEAs must report the percentage of full-time equivalency spent in each job classification and not by assignment. Also, LEAs must report the percentages of time spent in each job classification by school. The sum of all FTE percentages by job classification for each staff member cannot exceed 200%. The sum of all FTE percentages by job classification should be greater than or equal to 5%. So here are some scenarios or examples. If all of the time the staff is devoted to the job classification of admin at a school, then report 100% to the job classification of administrator. If all of the staff time is devoted to teaching at one school, then report 100% to the job classification of teacher. Now, if half of the staff time is devoted to admin and half is devoted to teaching, then report 50% to the job classification of administrator and another 50% to the job classification of teacher at that school. Here's another example of a staff member with a FTE percentage of more than 100%. As earlier mentioned, you can have up to 200% FTE distributed in each school as well as job classification assigned to. So in this scenario, this person is assigned into schools with a total of 150% FTE percentage. The person is working at Emerson Elementary with an FTE of 100%. The FTE is then distributed based on the job classification that he or she is credentialed in. So you have 50% for admin, since he is functioning as a principal as well as doing other administrator functions. He also is credentialed as pupil services and working as a counselor. And he is also an itinerant teacher with a 25% FTE. All in all, it's 100% in one school broken down into different percentages based on job classification. Now, it so happens that the same staff member is employed at Berkeley High with an FTE percentage of 50%. At Berkeley High, he has admin credentials. He is working as a vice principal with 25% FTE and also working part-time as a itinerant teacher with a day-to-day substitute teacher permanent teaching employment of 60/14 for a non-classroom based assignment. All in all, this staff member has 150% FTE and can still avail of 50 more percent if he or she wishes, if he is working at a different school or working more functions based on the job classification that he is credentialed in.